I'm Dylan Edwards. You guys are our awesome audience. Thank you so much for being here. Give yourselves a hand. Yeah. This is Charlotte and Mike, who I've been spending the morning with in the boardroom over there. Come on in if you're coming in. It's all good. The more the merrier. Yeah, come on in. And we've been talking about pitching. So I work at Copernicus Studios in Halifax here, and my job there is head of development. So I pitch all the time. People pitch me things in the business of making TV, making shows. And we've just got a show that we're getting into production now called Lana Longbeard, which will be on CBC Gem when it's ready. So I'll make sure you all know where to find it because we're super excited about it. But that's my day job hat. One of my other many hats I wear is I'm a member on the committee for AFX. And one of the things we do every so often when I have the gas in my tank is a pitching workshop. And so we've been spending the morning in the boardroom over there talking about pitching, answering questions, talking about what it is. And essentially, if you don't know, pitching is trying to get your idea picked up to, in this case, made into a TV show or a comic or a movie or whatever. It's when you have a meeting with someone like Steven Spielberg and you're like, I got a great idea for a movie, Mr. Spielberg, and you go through it. And then at the end of that pitch, he'll go, I don't know, I don't get it. Or, you know what, you got something there. Cool, let's make a deal. So that's what pitching is. And I've done it a lot. And you get a lot of no's. I got told no, like, whatever, 99 times, but I got a yes once, and that's all it takes. To get something going. So our workshop, we were talking about what makes a good pitch, keeping in mind what your goals are, what it is that you want to convey to people. And Charlotte and Mike brought some projects to the workshop, which they pitched to us in the workshop. We gave them a little bit of feedback. I think they're pretty solid ideas. And we're going to do a little pitch contest here. High stakes. So we're not sure what order you guys are going to go in, but they're going to pitch their projects.
Can I go first?
Yeah, you can go first, totally. I mean, I don't mean to speak for Mike.
No, that's fine.
Yeah. When you hear pitch one, you hear Charlotte's pitch. At the end of it, some time for some Q&A. You can ask some follow-up questions to find out more about what her project is. We'll do Mike's, same thing, a little bit of Q&A at the end. And then once we're all done, we're going to do an applausometer. See who is the winner, who's the champion of this high-stakes pitch contest. And someone will be declared winner. The other one will be also winner, but just didn't win the applausometer. So without further ado, Charlotte, let's hear about your project.
Hello, I will also stand. Can I stand right here?
It's up to you.
I won't step on it. Hello, everybody in the audience. Thank you. So I'm so excited I have a mic. My name is Charlotte. Thank you so much to Dylan for teaching me how to pitch because I've never pitched before, and this is really exciting because I did a 3-minute pitch earlier, and I'm trying to remember all of the tips that I got. So here I go. So I'm working on a story called Ghosted. It's gonna be sci-fi, but sci-fi in the way that Black Mirror is sci-fi, but not dystopic, like everything's good, like the technology is good in this sci-fi future. And the story is gonna center on a group of friends that are transitioning from high school to post-high school, so jobs and secondary education. But they all have access to virtual reality headsets, and that's a huge part of their life and how they interact with each other. The two most main characters, one of them, his name is Lucky, and the other one's name is Sasha, and they only know each other through their virtual avatars and names. They don't actually know each other in real life. And so as the group of friends is transitioning from high school to whatever they're going to do after, they get ghosted by this friend, Sasha, who nobody knows where she went. And so the story is about this group of friends trying to come to terms with the fact that they lost someone in a highly connected digital world where you're supposed to have access to everyone all of the time, but they don't. And part of the group's activities that they like to do together are around making worlds and art in the virtual reality. So they have all of these pieces of art that Sasha has done with them that they worked on together that they now have to find out what are they supposed to do with this now that they're just completely gone. And the main character, Lucky, is having to come to terms with kind of finishing some of this project on their own. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what else. Oh, it's young adult. Don't think I mentioned that already. And yeah, I think that's all I can remember for now. Thank you for listening to my pitch.
Thank you very much. Ghosted. That's a great title. I have a question. So how do they find out that they've been ghosted? Your main character is Lucky and what's the other one's name again?
Sasha.
Lucky and Sasha, yeah.
Yeah, she completely disappears. So in this world, you will have access to your friends all the time in the same way that you would use like Facebook Messenger or anything. And then all of a sudden, it's just those contacts are just gone. So they try to message, can't even find them in the search or in the list of like friends. And they have events that they were going to go to. They had plans with their life, and like all of a sudden they're just not contacted at all.
Amazing. And so you were saying that this is a comic, is that right?
Yeah, I was trying to pitch it like neutral.
Yeah. Well, just talk a little bit about the work that you're doing on it right now.
Yeah, so I'm attempting to. I want to pitch this to a publisher.
All right.
Everything okay over there? Should we be concerned? Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, this is a pitch for a graphic novel. It's going to be one story. It's not split up into issues or anything. And I'm pitching it to a local publisher soon. If they see this. Pretend like you did, because I'm going to make it better.
Excellent. Does anyone have any questions for Charlotte about Ghosted?
Thanks so much. I love the concept.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
I was just wondering, so are they mostly in the VR world, or are we going to see a contrast between like real world versus virtual world? And if we are seeing a contrast, are you thinking about that in visual terms, like different styles?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Yeah, so the way I see it, because I am an avid social VR user, so I go in there all the time. And I think the future is in like a mixed, it's like you can choose to do virtual reality, but it's going to be more mixed reality. That just seems more practical. So I was thinking that it would be the sort of technology where if you wanted to call your friend, you could call them, but you'd be wearing kind of like a visor so that you see both. And then your friend would appear as their avatar in your world. And then, yeah, that would probably be like maybe a slightly different color and then a like more cutesy style and a more realistic style for the real world. Yeah, that's a great question. Is that good to put in a pitch?
Yeah,
Style?
for sure. It's also
Not too.
it's all right. It's definitely a good thing to keep in your pitch, but it could be, like we were saying before, maybe something you keep for a question.
Right. Okay.
And if no one asks the question, then act like someone asked the question and then add it to the end.
Okay.
Like, I feel like it's a good detail that if it, and you can actually lead that in your pitch. If you have if you describe some aspects of your pitch, of your idea, and leave some obvious things out, because what you want to do is encourage them to ask questions and get engaged, right? So, but yeah, definitely, yeah, including some details about the visual style, if you have that in mind, is definitely anything that helps it bring it to life in the mind of the people that you're pitching to.
Okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense. Thank you. Thank you.
Any more questions from anyone about okay, Mike coming up?
I'm also not really one for mics.
Oh, good. Join the club.
My wife. Mike.
It's not so much a question, just I think it's a really nice idea, the take on Ghosted being a friendship relationship as opposed to a romantic relationship.
Yeah.
And I think that opens up a lot of intrigue and possibilities. So I just thought that was a really nice take. When I heard it was called Ghosted, I was thinking romantic.
Oh.
But it's in a friendship context,
Mhm.
and I just think that's a really interesting take on it.
Thank you. Thank you. I have been friend ghosted. So
Yeah.
That's thought it was important to talk about. Also, this is unrelated, but I don't know if anybody's seen Banshees of Inisherin.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was
really
like,
good.
this has happened to me. Like, I've never seen it on screen before, and I was like, I want to write about this.
In case you haven't seen it, the story is about these guys living in Ireland on an island, and one decides he doesn't want to be friends with the other anymore, and just like, you're not my friend. And this is in like the 20s. There's no telephones or anything. They just meet at the pub, and he's like, I'm not sitting with you. I'm over here. I don't know you. Leave me alone. And yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, that, but in a highly technical situation, like high technology situation, would be so interesting. So yeah, agreed.
Any more questions for Charlotte? Going once? Going twice? Excellent. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
we had one
No, we do.
more.
Yes.
It's actually not a question. I just wanted
Yes.
to say, I think this is a really great metaphor too for like that kind of transition between high school and whatever comes after. So like that just seems really rich. And I don't know, like Dylan, would you suggest saying, and there's a metaphorical dimension to it of the end of high school, or would you not suggest drawing attention to that kind of thing?
That is a good question. I think you have mentioned in your pitch a couple of times about being in that transition from high school to college, which is definitely an important ingredient of the overall theme. Maybe as you're writing it and working it up, having some practical, like more details about your characters' lives. Like, one of them is getting their first job and one of them is applying to college. That way you can demonstrate kind of how that works, and maybe they're relying on VR to have some consistency in life with all these other things being changed. I'm just spitballing here with you, but I think that's definitely a good theme, and demonstrating how that theme is implemented in the story. It could just, again, help
Right,
bring it
'cause
to life.
We're not trying to be like, and it's a metaphor for, so in the pitch, right, we're trying to show it with story.
Yeah, show don't tell, I guess, is one of the things they say, but I think, like we're saying, oftentimes when you're pitching to people that don't come from a creative background. They come from a business background. So if you start saying, and it's a metaphor, they'd be like, okay, whatever. What's a metaphor? And like they just don't come from that world. So things where we're creatives and where we work with stories and character and thing all the time, it's just natural for us to just talk about metaphors. But you're talking to someone that comes from a money world. They haven't maybe taken an English course in college. They went to business school, so they don't necessarily know those things. So demonstrating it and showing them is it's a good strategy.
Great. Thank you for the question again.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Charlotte.
Charlotte out. Are we going for Mike?
I can yell. I don't need to.
Is that?
No mic for Mike is the mic.
Okay,
All right.
I can figure that through. That's okay.
Mike's got a very good voice. So this is Mike.
Hi, Mike. How you doing? Probably gonna work out. Okay, cool. Hey, hi, I'm Mike. I basically work like a normal job, so Monday to Friday, super fun, boring kind of thing. But on my off time, I enjoy a lot of movies. And what I find is fun is taking something that doesn't make any sense and then making it into something else. So I've developed a character called Dolphin Cop, where I've inserted him into some of my favorite scenarios from movies, and like things like the Fast and the Furious, where it's clearly a dolphin, but he's fighting on a car. like from an airplane with a big band leader fighting in the skies. And stuff like James Bond, where he's just, you know, an evil villain for some reason. I have a couple more examples here, but either way. But like Vincent Price, like he's a master of disguise, but no one knows he's a dolphin when he's in disguise, and he just speaks in dolphin, so everything's but in, you know, it's written out in English. So yeah, so I got a couple more of those, but either way, that's essentially Dolphin Cop. So when he's in Dolphin Cop mode, he has a hat. And other time he's in disguise, he's master of disguise. I have his chief, which is, you know, number one boss, the chief. His bad guy, Johnny Eagle, who talks like the guy from Fantasy Island, which I still can't remember his name.
Mr. Rourke.
Thank you. And I have a roster of characters, so it's a bit out there, but it's generally fun. I've kind of done one, kind of like a like of it real quick. I can try and balance this at the same time.
Do you want help holding them?
Yeah,
Okay.
we could,
Yeah,
we
that'd be
could be
great.
your Vanna here.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So we'd start out basically on a crime scene that's happening on a pier, and you see it's just a normal midday crime, because that's when they happen. And you see like the bad guy who's talking here, and he's talking to his boss. He's like, "How's the new guy doing?" He's like, "Oh, he's doing pretty good." He's like, "But you know, he's got a lot to learn." And we go to see the new guy that's just a dolphin that's legit in a sweater and a hat. We reveal to him just very hard, very grizzled. We go back and he's like, "All right, well," he's like, "You know, you're doing good, new guy." He's like, and then his other friend there will start to talk. He's like, "Well, I heard Dolphin Cop is in the area." He's like, "So we got to be careful." Then we see Dolphin Cop drop the merchandise, and with a quick legit, and then the boss would just be like, "Hold on, easy, new guy." He's like, right back into character as we see his mustache is falling off. So we go into, then see the cops coming, and the guys are, "We gotta get out of here." Head to ground. And we go back to the guys running towards the boat, and we see the Dolphin Cop is now spun gracefully into just his Dolphin Cop outfit, where the henchmen are now looking, it's like, "New guy's Dolphin Cop?" And in Dolphin, you're under arrest. Right here, as the guys are like, "Mess him up, get in there." So then they start fighting with Dolphin Cop. He blocks the punch. He goes, which is not today in Dolphin, and then punches him back, knocking him out. The one man, the main bad guy there, is legit, "We gotta get out of here." So they both jump on the boat, take off. The cops finally show up. Dolphin Cop, they're getting away. And then, sorry. You do great, thank you. And it's like, and then legit jumps into a boat and takes off after them. So you cut back to the bad guys who were just talking, legit like, "I can't believe that was Dolphin Cop." He's like, "Me too." He's like, he co-signed on my condo, which is the weirdest thing. And legit, he's like, "I can't believe it. Wait to tell my wife he officiated my wedding." And he's very deep undercover. He's just like, "Oh, we gotta be careful." Look over, it's like, "Oh wait, he's behind us. Hey, he's waving at us. Not for long, I'm gonna ram him." And then as he gets hit by the boat, so quick, basically the bad guys look back, and then Dolphin Cop has a remote for some reason. He's like, "I don't like it, it's not good." And you look back at the back of the boat, and it's all filled with TNT. So Dolphin Cop then hits the button, it explodes, they're all in the water, and Dolphin Cop rolls up with his badge. You're under arrest in Dolphin. And then legit takes them back to the officer where the chief is waiting, and then the chief is like, "Dolphin Cop, I don't know how you do it, but you're the best cop I ever got." He's like, "Hey." He's like, "Oh yeah, I almost forgot." So we go back to the chief, who's waiting and has a bucket full of fish, which he tosses into Dolphin Cop's mouth. Credits.
Excellent. Dolphin Cop. Very good pitch. Awesome materials. Anyone have any questions about Dolphin Cop?
Perfect.
There we go.
Thank you.
Ellen Chen. That's all right.
Thank you so much. That was awesome, and
Okay.
I really love that you've developed this entire complex language for him.
Yes.
I just wanted to ask: is this? Are you envisioning a series? And if so, are you thinking about doing different genres for different shows? Would it all be like, sort of this cop?
Well, he's always a cop. That's always going to be a thing, and he's always a master of disguise. So it would always. I had a vision series, but it would mostly be parodying action movies and other movies. So you'd hit any scenario. So he'd always be. I have one called Flip Break, which is Point Break, but with Dolphin Cop. So he's one of the presidents and like the old ladies in the robbery, which takes it down from the inside. So this is like it's just very dumb. Most people can't understand him. All he does is speak in Dolphin. Yes. Did I answer that? Okay.
So a typical episode of Dolphin Cop, are we thinking it's like 11 minutes, 22 minutes?
I think 11's
Yeah.
like right there.
Yeah.
Right there. A lot more. About 11 minutes. I think. I don't think any more than that. But
And are you thinking? I mean, you mentioned a lot of movies that you'd be kind of parodying. Are you thinking like TV as well? Like, would he drive like a talking car? Or anything
I
like
would
that?
love to do a Knight Rider one. But no, any of that. Basically anything I grew up that I enjoyed, and it's a love letter to cinema.
Yeah.
Because I grew up on it. It's one of my favorite things to randomly online to. Also, I sent an email to you with the wrong name because your middle name's Jason. I'm sorry. I apologize now.
No problem.
But that's pretty much all I got.
And you, one of the reasons I wanted you to email me is you did an animatic.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know what an animatic is, it's where you take like these boards, these storyboards like he's drawn, and just photograph them and just put them onto a video with and you do the voices yourself.
Yes, I
all of
do.
them?
Yeah. Bless my wife. She has helped me write the letters and my script. I write it out like it's normal, like a normal dialogue for the dolphin the whole time, but then change it to ease with the appropriate grammar and such.
Excellent.
Yeah.
We have another question.
Where is the location? Is Halifax?
No, that's definitely Miami. Yeah. that would not work here. Too cold for a dolphin.
You got a question? Hang on.
Actually, I have two. I was curious, who is your audience for this? And did you have in mind a media that you were going to use?
It's a great question. Might have an okay answer. No, I think youth, like a little bit young, a little bit older, and say probably like 10 and above. Is that probably right? But mostly I think the kids wouldn't get the references for movies, so it's for the parents. So they can kind of experience with that and then go visit that movie with their kid. Maybe that kind of thing.
So like a general audiences.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then in terms of media, were you thinking like, I guess like a TV series or possibly a YouTube series or something?
Yeah, I'd be open to anything. It's I'm easy that way. But,
Yeah.
whatever it takes, it's fine. Mostly just it's fun to write because I have a very boring job. So it's fun.
boring is it?
Pretty boring. But yeah, no. But it's good to let the mind play. So you get to have kind of fun with this kind of thing.
Excellent. Any more questions for Mike? Well, thank you very much, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing Dolphin Cop. Those are our pitches, ladies and germs. Now it's time for the moment of truth. Applause-o-meter. Okay, are we ready? We're gonna get some applause. How much did we love Ghosted? Amazing. All right, and how much did we love Dolphin Cop? I think Ghosted was at about an 8, but I think Dolphin Cop edged it out at 8.5. I think we have our winner, Dolphin Cop, winner of the 2023 Pitch Competition at AFX. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
You don't win anything, but
I
just
know.
glory. Yeah.
I know.
You win a high five. There we go. Yeah. You're welcome.
That's take that to the bank, right?
Thank you very much for being our audience. And I mean, one of the main reasons that we go through this exercise is because getting up in front of people and sharing your idea, with people, it's public speaking, it's performance. And the more you practice, the better it is. So if by any chance you end up in an elevator with someone or in a lineup at Starbucks or Tim's and you're suddenly behind someone that can help you make your project, you've already pitched it a few times. So, this is the kind of practice that enables you to then be that much more polished when it really matters, So, kudos to you guys for coming out today and doing this.
Thank you, Dylan.
And
Your workshop's great.
Thank you.
I recommend it to everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole.
And thank you, everyone.